Hi everyone, welcome to another video. Today I'm going to talk about an interesting product. It's a 1.4 times teleconverter adapter that you can get for your telephoto lens to extend its reach. This one is by Kenko. It's the 1.4 times Teleplus Pro 300. I've already tried this on my 400mm lens. It's actually the reason why I got it in the first place. I've seen a lot of videos that were giving negative feedback about adding a teleconverter such as this to your lens setup, especially if you've got a zoom lens. My Tamron zoom lens is a 100mm to 400mm f4.5 to 6.3 zoom lens. So zoom lenses in particular, the budget to mid-range ones, don't work so well with a teleconverter. And I tried it and indeed it was horrible. At 100mm, my Tamron lens, which ordinarily would be at f4.5 wide open, is suddenly f9 wide open. And at the longest end, 600mm, f6.3, it was at f13, which was completely unusable, and I wasn't able to get autofocus to work at all. The autofocus was not working at all because there's not enough light. So your best bet, if you're going to get a teleconverter like this, is to use it with a prime lens. That's what they all say. But prime lenses, well, the good ones anyway, they're going to be quite expensive, right? Like we're talking about like the Canon 600mm L lenses. But what I have here instead is the Tamron 90mm portrait lens, right? So how am I using a teleconverter like this? I'm not using a teleconverter like this to put onto my 400mm lens so that I can get about a reach of about 600mm. What I'm doing is I'm extending the usefulness of this lens when I take it out for a walkabout to take street photos, or I take photos of, well, I've got some chickens here, have a look. So these chickens here I've taken with this Tamron 90mm lens with a 1.4 times teleconverter. And I think that the results are pretty good. Very often when I'm walking around with a 90mm like this and I'm not carrying an additional lens, I feel very limited in terms of my creativity. I have to move around quite a little bit more, you know, but it always helps if I get a little bit more reach, especially if I'm trying to shoot like these chickens, right? If I'm trying to shoot birds, the ability to just put on this teleconverter is very useful. If I put it onto something with too long a reach, I think what's going to happen is, well, first I'll lose light, and then my vibration compensation or image stabilization will start to not work as well as it would if I didn't have the teleconverter on. But with a shorter telephoto lens, such as 90mm, 100mm, or 120mm if it's prime, I think that you'll be pretty happy and satisfied with the results, just as I have. And the other thing that I wanted to mention is that the Tamron 90mm portrait lens is a very good macro photography lens. And when you slap on an extended tube like this, by just adding the 1.4 times teleconverter has also allowed me to use this lens even closer to my subject than I have already been able to do. All right, so you can have a look at this result over here. So the first example is just the 90mm Tamron lens. And this next example is with the teleconverter. So as you can see, I can get really, really close up and the depth of field is extremely narrow. All right, so that was my own experience. I've seen a lot of videos that talk about the good and the bad, the pros and the cons of having a teleconverter extender, and I was really curious for myself what the results would be like, and so I got it for myself, and I hope you find this information useful if you're considering getting one for yourself. My next video is going to be about this lens that I'm shooting this video with someone online, because I'm quite active online buying these used lenses and cameras. So I got this 7 Artisan 12mm f2.8 lens for absolutely no cost at all. This guy online, he was giving it away, and here it is. I have it, and look at the quality. I don't see a lot of aberration, lens distortion so far as the preview is concerned. I can't wait to edit this video and have a look at the results, and I also can't wait to shoot a review video on this lens, which so far looks to be excellent to me. Alright, this is the Injured Tech Man. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.